see it. Trying to get it ready.
And we're live.
All right.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hierarchy Betrayal, episode 17.
17.
Season 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? 17 episodes we've been doing this? Wow. So
And
today is going to be a little different.
Yeah. Let me check if we're live. But in the meantime, I said we took a couple of episodes break from guests because we wanted to reflect a little bit about what we discussed so far. But today we want to talk about visibility and why it's important for nurses to become visible. But please just go and read your post, and because I think they're so important for today as well. Thank you.
Okay, so first off, happy Mother's Day to all of you and to every woman in healthcare who has ever mothered someone who was not her own, who sat beside a stranger's fear like it was her responsibility to carry it, who studied a family falling apart with nothing but her presence and her voice, who looked a new nurse on the eye and said, "I see you," when the rest of the room had already looked away. This is for you. I don't think nurses fully realize the power that they carry. And I don't mean the power in a loud sense. And it's not about status. It's obviously not about hierarchy. That's why we're here. But real power, the kind that changes the emotional temperature of a room the moment you walk in. The kind that helps someone breathe easier simply because you stayed calm when they were terrified. The kind that makes a patient feel seen instead of processed. That's not a job description. That's a gift. Nurses are the pulse of healthcare, the health heartbeat moving quietly beneath every hallway, every unit, every waiting room, every life being held together in real time. And when a nurse remembers the depth of that influence, something shifts. The one who chooses patience over humiliation becomes the coworker who notices someone drowning before they ask for help. The leader who understands people do not grow where fear lives becomes the reason others finally find their voice. And that experienced nurse who takes the time to guide and teach, she becomes the reason someone stays in this profession instead of leaving it. That is how culture changes. It's not all at once. It's heartbeat by heartbeat, shift by shift, moment by moment. You were just never a caregiver. You were just not a caregiver. You are a creator of safety, a builder of trust, a protector of dignity, a carrier of humanity in places where humanity is needed most. And maybe, just maybe, that is why something feels different right now. People are starting to see themselves differently. You can feel it everywhere. Nurses are writing, they're creating, they're speaking, they're mentoring, they're coaching, they're launching ideas that they once kept hidden, introducing themselves without shrinking first. There is an energy building inside this profession that no title could ever contain. A remembering of what nursing can become when people stop asking permission to take up space inside it. Because this conversation is not about status, it's not about platforms or hierarchy or the loudest voice in the room. It's about visibility, humanity, courage. The quiet decision to stop dimming parts of yourself just to fit inside spaces that no longer reflect where you are going. The next chapter of nursing leadership is already unfolding. And I'm not just talking about the boardrooms, you guys. I'm talking about the conversations, the creativity, the connection. Nurses being brave enough to say, this is who I am, and this is what I'm building. So consider this your invitation. So bring your idea, your project, your entrepreneur ideas, your thoughts, your visions, your dreams. and bring that dream that keeps tapping you on the shoulder at 2 a.m. asking to be seen, or simply just bring yourself. Because sometimes the most powerful thing in this work is a person who has experience, who is walking into a room and realizing they are not the only one imagining anymore. And maybe that's what so many are waking up to right now. So welcome to the Hierarchy Betrayal.
Was mute. Welcome everybody. Thank you very much for showing up already. She will say hello to someone. Cass, thank you very much.
Well, hi Cass. Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for being here. Cassie, I love conversation like this. Thank you, Dina, for what you are doing. And with Kimberly, I couldn't do it without Kimberly, of course.
Oh, whatever. You could so.
And Dr. Rifat, thank you very much for coming. You too appreciate your voice. Thank you very much. We are here to make all of our voice loud, because it's again, as Kimberly said in her post and in this beautiful introduction of this episode, a revolution and an evolution are really starting in nursing. The nurses who will lead the revolution won't necessarily be the nurses who are in the boardroom. But sharing ideas, sharing conversation, those will be the nurses who will lead. For good or for bad, we're not here to judge, but we are here to make people understand that social media is a powerful place and tool to use, so we can really make nursing an empowered profession. So we want to focus the attention to social media, really, because this is already happening with or without you. So if today we're gonna to raise the focus on this topic, I think the more nurses who are really in the field educating, sharing good idea, researching, are more willing to be present on social media to share positive change. Am I right, Kimberly?
Oh, God, yes, I absolutely agree. And look at what everybody's doing. I mean, look at all of the nurses and those even in healthcare that are making waves. They're reaching out for new opportunities, and they're creating new opportunities. We were just talking about Casey last week and the death doula. I mean, that's created. That's thinking outside the box. And that's what we really need. And I've seen so many nurses that are reaching out, and they are creating space for coaching, for mentoring, for business ideas, for things that are not just at the bedside, because there are so many opportunities out there. And each and every one of us has ideas and dreams, and there's just so much I feel that this profession is so capable of. You just have to believe. I think you just have to take that chance. And do we fail sometimes? God, yes, we do. And I think growth is made by sometimes falling on your face. Sometimes falling on your face, right? And thinking, oh God, what was I thinking? I don't know. What was I thinking? Maybe this will work. Maybe this won't work. But you know what? I'm going to give it my all and pray for the best. And if I failed, I learned something. I learned how to do something better.
Absolutely. But also I think that so many people are already walking this path. So I wanted to say that you don't have to do it by yourself. There are so many people that are already teaching how to do it. And also social media is a really an instrument that has been really used from decades already. So what we want to bring the attention, the focus on today is that nursing is shifting. Okay, it's already shifting. It's under an revolution. Okay, so people are starting new things. There are new conversations. There are something that going on, because we also are kind of fed up from institutions that are not really thinking on us in the right way. They're just regulating us, which is right. We say before, they make sure that we do the best for our patient as well, yes. But we found this detachment from nursing board regulatory nursing association, and what's actually happening at the bedside space. So people start to realize things. People are fed up about, nurses are fed up about this. We overwork, overwhelmed, stressed, and nurses are start to build a new way, right? A new path. And so because social media is a very good tool that has been used really successfully by many, I think that nurses should start, well, I don't think this is already happening. So nurses have to realize that, especially if they are in research, in academic, or they're educating, or they have a lot of experience, in order to pass this knowledge to other nurses, they must start to use social media and so become visible in that way. Because, I mean, society is evolving every day, and to be on top of the revolution, we must use the tools that the society use for our advantage. So visibility is so important, and so many nurses are missing out when actually they can share and pass their knowledge to the younger generation. And maybe I will say that the younger generation are taking the lead, and they have less experience than the seasoned nurse, experienced nurse, but they taking the lead because they are born during this social media era, right? So it's time that seasoned nurses, experienced nurses start to use social media to increase their visibility and so to share their knowledge.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that so many young nurses, this new generation, this generation of AI and technology, it's amazing. And me being in healthcare, 36 years now, we didn't have that space, that opportunity to share our voice, to share our concerns. And it's not about venting, it's not about blaming, it's just having a collaborative conversation with other people, so other people just feel that they're not alone. Sometimes people just get on there and they've had a really bad day, and they just needed to talk about it. They needed to express all of that. And again, we talk so much about the suitcases, and what we carry with us all the time. And I think it's really given an outlet to a lot of nurses, a lot of healthcare professionals to be visible, to express themselves, to share their knowledge, to share their experience, to welcome others in. And it's honestly opened up this. I mean, we are here today because of social media. We are here today because of the platforms that are available, with StreamYard and all of the outlets for doing podcasts and things. And we are seeing so many nurses creating podcasts, and creating events like this. So I know that today we were hoping to invite those in that want to talk about what they're doing, what they're doing to be visible, what they are bringing to the table, how they're changing things, and how they see this evolution that we talk about, Dina, this revolution of change, and that we all want to see a difference in healthcare. We all want to see things get better, not just for ourselves, but, for our patients. We want that for everyone, because the patients are why we're in this profession in the first place. The patients are why we have a job in the first place. And, who gives a shit about staff ratios? What do you need staff for if you don't care about the people in the business? If you don't care about what's right in front of you. So yeah, I totally agree with all of that. Sure.
Absolutely. But I think the as nurses, we must embrace courage. Because, for example, do you remember when we talked with Ishbel about the fit to practice in UK with the NMC? So what has she said at a certain moment of the conversation, if you want, you can go and watch the recording. She said at a certain moment of the conversation that someone in politics advised her to create a social media wave to grab people's attention. Because only in that way, only in that moment when you create a wave of in social media, you basically create a wave of attention, then the politics can be engaged and start to talk and make it bigger. So, and also nursing association and nursing board regulators use social media to communicate their things. So if we really want to change things because we don't feel supported, valued, in a way that we should be, it started we found courage and we start to talk about our problem on social media. So I know that there is this myth, right, that social media maybe if for people who have the time to do social media. But actually social media is a tool. You don't necessarily need to be an influencer to use social media. I don't recognize myself as a influencer, even though I may influence some people with my work, as you do, right, Kimberly? But I am a career coach who use social media in order to reach people, share idea, to collaboration, create product, share our voice. Because today this podcast is not for us to sell our products. It's here the podcast to have conversation with other nurses because we really want to give nurses voice. So this myth that social media, I mean, if you are a researcher and you're busy with your research, this idea that social media is not really for you because you're busy with your research, this is wrong. Because social media can really help you share your findings, share your the research outcome, and so share knowledge. And LinkedIn is very good platform for this reason, actually, even though the majority of nurses, they live in Facebook, actually. So if you really want to communicate, you should use the social media that is more it is more in alignment with what you want to share. For us, it's LinkedIn because this is a professional platform. And we really want to reach people who want to build their career, that want to be more professional, they want to build team rapport, improve team dynamics, or improve, leadership, also communication. So you should use the platform that is more aligned with what you want to communicate, because you have to find your audience in the right where your audience lives. So if maybe in Facebook, you should use better Facebook. But it start that we think about seriously use social media.
And to use it correctly, right? And you want to use it
Exactly.
correctly. You don't, I see, and I know we've all seen so many videos of hospital staff, people in different hospital settings or clinic settings or nursing homes, whatnot, videotaping from their environment. And that's a risk. And I've seen now that more and more organizations have a social media policy. They have a really strict policy on what you put on social media and what you share. So just be very aware of your organization's policies and procedures in regards to that, because you don't want something to come back and bite you. And I think too, just really think it out before you do something like that, before you're posting from a bathroom or you're posting from a unit or something, because they're watching. They are watching. And that's not the kind of attention that you want. If you're trying to be visible in regards to something that's important, something that's needed to be heard, and you're trying to share it with a specific audience, just be very cautious. I will just say that, just be very cautious. And again, like you said, Dina, find your audience, find the platform that works best for you for the message that you are trying to portray or what it is that you're trying to get out there. So I just say, again, be cautious. Just be cautious.
Absolutely, I agree. In fact, I would say that LinkedIn is the place where not just nurses, in general, all industries, employer, em, employees have been fired away, dismissed for their job because they may like or comment or share something that was not in line with the vision, the mission of the organization they were working for. And in fact, LinkedIn is the place where you actually, and I say this because I'm also a LinkedIn strategist for healthcare professional, career profession. Is the place where you don't really have many like or share or comment, but it's the place where you should build rapport, you should build relationships. So in order to create a group for collaboration, to share your idea, to bring your project ahead, LinkedIn is a very good place where you can create a network of people. Let's take, for example, me and you, Kimberly, right? We get to know each other on LinkedIn, and then we start to collaborating because we have we're sharing same value, and especially in this podcast, we want to give voice to nurses. So LinkedIn is a very good place where you can create a project and collaborate with others and share and increase your visibility in this way. And what is important on LinkedIn especially is that you create relationship and rapport with people. So everything that's happened actually in DMs, in outside conversation like via email, for example. So like and share or comment are not necessarily what you really want. To increase your visibility, you must increase your network and so the relationship, right? It's not like the other platform that the more follower you got, the more successful you are. No, not necessarily. Actually, you want to build the right connection. For example, I don't know you, but for example, I don't accept all the connection that people send it to me, not because I should say in English pity, right? Not because I want certain people, certain no, but because based on what I want to communicate and what I want to share, I connect only with nurses, especially with nurses, or with people that work for nurses, right? So for me, it's not followers number that is important for my visibility, but the connection that I create with my social media may eventually lead to certain high performing visibility. Because visibility doesn't mean a thousand, 100,000 of people. Visibility is reach the right group of people, right?
Absolutely, because you can have 10,000 followers and not know hardly any of them, and not
Yes.
have any real connection with any of them. So they're just a number. They're just a number that you've racked up. So, you and I have had this conversation before, Dina, where we've talked about how we introduce ourselves to new connections, and to me, when I introduce myself, I tell a little bit about me. I always thank them for connecting, and I always ask people their why. Why did you get into this profession? What are you struggling with in this profession? How do you handle the hard days? Because I really want to know. If I'm going to connect with you and we're going to collaborate on something or have a discussion, I want to really know you. I don't want you to just think that I just hit connect,
Yeah, exactly.
and you're racking up numbers. For me and for you, it's not like that. And I don't tend to, I don't want to say weed them out, but I don't tend not to connect with people. If people connect with me and we're both in healthcare, we're in a realm of something. I have a lot of connections that are in social media, that are marketing, that are hospitality. and those types of connections. Because for me, I feel hospitality and healthcare are so incredibly intertwined. We're both professions are creating and promoting a service, and we're providing an experience. And however you want to look at that, when you go to a hotel and you're staying, you're looking at the room, you're looking at the service, you're looking at how you were treated. Healthcare is the same way. You come in, you look at the room, you're like, oh God, or you're like, oh wow, this is really nice. I think I'll be okay here. I feel safe here, and then the staff that's greeting you, from the housekeeper, the kitchen aide, the nurses, the aides, the doctors. That's all interaction. That's all a service. That's all in how you represent yourself. So the connections that I've made have been, honestly, with, I think, almost 8,000 connections I have a conversation with, I would say 95% of them. They will come back and say, hey, thank you. It was really nice to connect with you. Or I've been following you for a while. And for me, that's so heartwarming, because it's like, oh my goodness, you've been following me since last year and I didn't even know, and here you are connecting with me. So that's amazing. And see, Olivia Missy says, and I know I just killed her name. I'm so sorry, love. She says quality above quantity. Absolutely, 100%, 100%, because you can have, and we've talked about this before, you can have 10, say
billions,
10 connections that you know everything about, and they are genuine, intentional, and they have an impact. They've impacted you, or you've impacted them in some way. Or you can have 100 connections that don't mean diddly squat to you. You know nothing about them. You just connected to rack up numbers. So there's a big difference in how you use social media. And I truly believe in how you use LinkedIn and this platform, because you are trying to be visible, but we're all bringing our passion, the drive that we have for what we're doing. And every post I write, every story I put out there, it truly comes from my heart. And I'll start to write something and then I'll change it like 500 times, or I'll delete it and redo it and then add something else to it. And then be like, scratch it up, like when we used to write things, now we type them, wad it up, throw it away. And okay, that didn't work. I'm not feeling that. Let's try this again. Because when you're putting things out there, and I'm just speaking honestly from experience and from myself, I want you to feel something. Exactly. When I write something, that's so true. I want you to feel it. I want you to feel it in your bones. And I want you to feel that, wow, I know exactly what she's talking about. Or I've been there. And wow, this is so profound. Thank you for saying it. Thank you for saying it out loud. How many times do we hear that, Dina? Thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, somebody said it out loud.
Absolutely, because when you become relatable to people, you build connection. So it's so important that you share your story, because yes, all of us have a unique story. Yeah. But if we talk about with 1,000 people around the world, with nurses, we all have the same problem that we have to figure out and fix. So if we share our story, which is relatable to other people's story, we can actually create connection. We can create that first touch point of connection and rapport that actually can bridge two places far away from each other and create collaboration, create conversation, create that wave of change that is so much needed in nursing now. So absolutely, Olu, quality above quantity. And to be honest, because I study marketing a little bit for what is my business, quantity is really, is important, right? Especially if you build the foundation of your or what you want to communicate, right? Of your voice. Once you've built a structure, foundation, a structure of your voice, of your project, of your change, of what you really want to create in nursing. Once you build that structure, then you can go broad. But if you don't create something meaningful and you're only focus is going viral or going broad, that you get broke. You go broke actually, right? Because without anything that is meaningful to share with others, you don't create any connection. You cannot create any rapport. You don't create any connection. So it's a void. It's a
It's
big
noise,
followers of void. Yes, they're noises. Absolutely.
just noise. It's just noise. You're just, and I see a lot of posts like that I'm like, okay, this has a lot of meaning to it. And maybe it's because I'm a writer that I critique things so much, but I read things sometimes and it's like, I didn't feel anything from that. I see that they have this amazing message underneath what they're trying to share, and it's powerful, but they've just worded it wrong. They've not brought the heart to it. They've not made it to where you can actually feel it, and it's when you feel it that people really start to see you. They really start to follow you because they want more. They're learning from you. If we've talked about it before, Dina, remember in the past we've talked about your biggest followers are not always your biggest fans.
Yeah,
Remember
exactly.
that? Remember that? People sometimes are just following you to learn from you, but also maybe to, I don't know, ulterior motives, maybe, I don't know, try and get the advantage above you or something, but not all your biggest fans are all your biggest followers, or all your followers are your biggest fans. Some people are out to, they have ulterior motives, and I've seen it. I've experienced
Yeah,
it.
it's happened in real life and it's happened on social media too. And we should, create like a character that is strong enough to don't care about. But you're right. We can count the numbers as a victory point. It's not.
Right.
Numbers. And you were telling about we should word what you want to communicate in a better way. I just would like to say something that is not about the grammar itself, because English is my second language. And when I write, maybe I have something that I really want to communicate because something happened to me and I want to share straight away. I may actually do, and I do quite often, grammar mistake, or maybe I type and my phone correct me and didn't realize correct me, because again, English is my second language, so I don't really have that attention of native, right? And so my posts sometimes are very upside down, but people engage, and I know they engage because not necessarily they like all the comment, but it's the person who come to do and say, thank you for sharing this, or I really relate with this, or I actually have this problem, so can you help me figure out what do you think is the best way to do this? So I think you said right, you have to word what you want to communicate in the right way, which is a storytelling way. You have to communicate emotion, and you're so good, Kimberly, to communicate emotion.
Okay, stop. I just pour everything into it. I think that, I've done everything from obstetrics to hospice, and I've been in so many rooms, and, med surg, pediatrics, home health, geriatrics, long-term care. I mean, I've done a little niche of everything, trying to find my niche, And it's through all of those experiences that when I see something, or something strikes me, like I saw somebody's post or something, and I'm like, oh my God, I know exactly what they're talking about. Oh, inspired. I'm inspired. I got to go out and write something now because you just lit my fire. You know what I mean? And I feel so inspired by so many of the posts that I read, and all of the connections that I've made, because you find that one person, like, when we had Brittany Parks on and we had that wonderful conversation with her, it was one of her posts that I was like, hell yeah, and it was just this fire between the two of us. And then having her on as a guest, it again, those conversations and that visibility and that spark that she put out there that lit a fire in me. And then I was like, oh God, yes, and you just kind of run with those ideas. So I feel that it's always amazing when you come across something like that and someone else just lights your fire, especially if you've focused so much on the negativity of things, and the brokenness of things. And when somebody lights your fire and you realize, wow, she's onto something, or I'm going to run with this. I'm going to connect with her. We need to have a conversation. I can't tell you how many times that's happened, right? You have these conversations and you meet people and ta-da, you and I, Dina. Oh my goodness, you and I.
And actually,
Ashley and Mark and Patricia. And I mean, just all of these people, because we're all on the same page and we all have these amazing ideas. And that's what we're talking about, visibility. All of these ideas that people are bringing forward that are now being visible to everyone around the world. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch.
And they're growing, and so they're improving nursing globally for real, because they are shared, a common idea. We're grouped together. We push each other because we think that what we are doing is important. That yes, association will do their job, nursing board regulator, they do their job. It's okay. But it's also important that our perspective is being shared. And so if no one else share, will do. And we're grouped together because we recognize each other. We recognize each other in our same value, I will say. So we're so happy that we support each other. And I wanted to share this. Do you remember when we talked from Australia with Anne Jones? She talked about bullying, and she's was live with talking in the episode with us. She was 1:00 in the morning in Australia, yeah, and she shared her story, what bullying actually mean to her, the horrible things that did to her. And so I received an email from an Australian nurse who didn't know Anne Jones, right? Who watched the episode, and she sent me an email because she wanted to share that she was really enlightened by the conversation. She wanted to remain anonymous anyway, but she wanted to connect with Anne. So she has connected with Anne anyway. Okay, but she wanted to remain anonymous to our audience, so she's connected with there privately. So this connection now is creating another project and another thing, as this is so important. But yes, again, if you are a nurse and you have some value to share, if you have something that you want to communicate, if you want to change nursing because you don't feel we are living a right time for us, you must communicate this and find like-minded people. And you don't necessarily find these like-minded people in your workplace, or could be your ward or the entire hospital. You maybe could not find the same people, like-minded people in the same city. And you cannot travel, right, thousands of miles to reach to see if you find someone else that share your same value or your same ideas. So social media is really a good tool to make your idea come true, actually. So nurses should stop. This is wrong. Sorry, I was saying something stupid. Nurses, yes, they have to still use academic research, the path that we always use to reach, to study, to create a project or whatever, entrepreneurship, right? You continue to use that path. Could be academics, entrepreneurship, could be career ladder, whatever. But you should start to use social media as well, because it's the way you can find like-minded people around the globe so that your idea can actually have a wave of impact that is meaningful, that really is going to impact the nursing profession in all.
Oh, hello, Anne. I love it when she shows up. Hi, Anne. Connections with other nurses are so important. Oh my goodness, yes. Oh my goodness, yes. And especially like us, Dina, globally, We're meeting so many people, and the guests that we've had from all around the world, it's such a privilege to have that opportunity to do so. And again, like you said, like-minded professionals, like-minded people, you might not find them in your city, you might not find them in your organization. And oh my God, look at this girl in Australia, holy cow, look what she's doing. Well, look what she's doing. And I did talk to Anne. She reached out after the episode, and she was invited, someone saw her, and she was invited to speak publicly, to talk to a group of new nurses and about the bullying and to prepare them. So it's just sometimes these little opportunities of visibility where you may be in your little town and nobody knows who you are, nobody knows what you're doing, nobody knows your dreams, your values, your vision, your passion. And it's things like this that bring those opportunities and those people to light. So it's such a pleasure, honestly, and it's so humbling to be able to do this with you on these Sundays and spend time with you and all of these people all around the world. And I am so humbled by it. I'm so honored by it. So again, it's having these conversations with everyone around the world and bringing the visibility to things that are not so comfortable to talk about. And a lot of times when we're talking on this podcast, and the hierarchy, the betrayal, the dismissal, the things that are not just always talked about, the things that are uncomfortable to talk about. But I feel that we've created this space for people to feel safe enough to talk about those things. And that to me is worth a million tons of gold. Not that I'll ever see that, but if I could see that, it'd be worth more than that. But
Absolutely.
Anne says, I am now have been invited on podcasts to hear my thoughts about connections regarding nursing. Oh, congratulations, Anne.
Well done. I actually send you a
That's so
message, Anne, if you want to. I send a message.
Pop in. Absolutely. Let's see. And then I'm not sure how to say his name. John's, I think. Interesting from Ethiopia. Okay. Welcome. I don't think we've ever had anybody from Ethiopia. You?
Yeah. Well, we are not selling anything. We're just having a conversation. So
right. No, but I don't think we've ever seen anybody pop in from Ethiopia. I mean, we've had
exactly.
Africa,
so you're more than welcome to come if you want.
Yeah, everyone is welcome. Always. This space is always open to everybody. And you don't necessarily have to be a nurse. I mean, we have obvious conversations with nurses and about nursing, whatnot, but 100% of people either know a nurse, love a nurse, or have had an experience with the nurse. So I feel that those conversations are for everybody, and the door is always open. And Anne says also, what we still need is validation. And Anne, can you go a little deeper in regards to what you mean? Validation and what regard? What do you mean?
A second.
No, you're fine. I have a guidebook on Gumroad about how nurses are witnesses. Okay. And they are absolutely witnesses to everything that happens in their organizations and every experience. She also says, I think that should be a new theme with nurses. We are witnesses, people in the most challenging times.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. We are. And it's not even witnessing just the patients in a challenging time. It's each other. We need to stop the lateral violence and the bullying with one another. We need to really see one another as human beings again. And can you just imagine, Dina, for 1 minute, just think what it would be like if everyone just loved and respected one another.
Yeah.
With heart, with compassion, with grace. Can you imagine what healthcare would be like?
Will be really the professional of our dreams. And I think that visibility is really important for this reason, and because we are witnessing so many people in the most challenging time. And again, there is this detachment from organization. So if we don't take the lead and share this challenging situation, if you don't take the lead to share this communication, no one will do for us. So this is why visibility is so important. As a career coach, I teach visibility in the workplace to raise profile and, go ahead with the career. But visibility for nursing is so important at this moment because we are really living in a tough moment, and we need to communicate it, right? We need to communicate because people don't know what is going on. People now are not care properly. They see grumpy nurses or nurses that don't have time to care for them. So people just don't understand what we're really going through. And visibility is important to communicate these problems. We have to take the lead to communicate what is going on, not just for us, for the entire humanity. Because if we don't cure nursing, we are definitely going to destroy humanity. Because what is humanity without nurses? Continue to send comment.
She says, I think that should be a new theme with nurses. We're witnessing people in the most challenging. Okay. And then she says, also, sorry, I got disconnected. No apologies, girl. It was a heck of a time getting in this morning, too. There's always technical glitches. It's okay. And she always says, healthcare is a big business right now. It is a big business, but it's a business of people. And people need to understand that without the people, there is no business. There is no business. If you don't take care of the people that are providing the care, how can they give good care? Because they don't feel cared for. They don't feel worthy. They don't feel valued. And that causes a ripple effect. That trickles down to how you care for others. If you, like we've talked before, Dina, that if you're numb, if you are so numb to the environment that you are in every single day, how can you give a piece of you that you no longer have? You no longer have it. You're almost checked out before you even check in. And we see that all the time. So I think that what Anne is saying, and again, I'm so proud of her for getting visible and getting out there and spreading her knowledge and sharing her experience for others, because that's what this is all about. It's about getting out there and meeting new people and seeing better ways forward, because that's what we want to do with all the healthcare, with all the people behind healthcare. It's about moving forward better, because we can all do better. We all have the opportunity to be better ourselves and to create better environments for one another. So, and she also says, our thoughts are still goes back around 100 years ago. We have to speak on how we are in the room in the beginning and the last one in the room. I totally agree with that as well, Anne. And Dina, what do you want to say about that? I mean, I personally think it's, we could go back 100 years and not much has changed. Not much has changed. We're still having the same battles. We're still having the same brokenness. And again, it's how we as nurses, it's how we as healthcare professionals show up. It's how we show up every day.
Yes, I just realized, sorry. Yeah, I agree. And just want to say that the problem probably is that we are the caring profession. We are here to care for others. And unfortunately, because how busy we become because of improving in science and technology and everything, we now have been asked to study a lot, to know a lot, to manage a lot of things. So we don't really have time to see ourselves, how we grow so far. Also, we are emotionally numbed because we are overworked, overwhelmed, stressed, etc. So the problem is we are stuck in how we feel ourselves, how we see ourselves, identity, Our identity is stuck in 100 years ago, as you say, right? And we don't have this capacity or agency to actually do something about. And this is why visibility is important, because those who are actually are awake, those who realize the things, start to talking out loud on social media, are those who actually start leading, that show to others. And so we should share also this way of communicating so that this mentality can really grow, right? And so, yes, I actually saw a reel on Instagram, and I think I reshared, but I have to find actually. And it is so right. It actually is right on your point, Anne. This nurse back on 1946, 1946, so 80 years ago, right? That was talking about salary. The nurses are leaving the profession because they see that all the profession, the girl in the other profession, because back that day there were actually the all nurses were all female, right? So she was complaining the fact that other profession had all these pay salary rise, but no nurses. That the other girls in the other profession can actually have resources to buy new clothes, to care of their hair, their nails, and they also have money to spend for holidays and all the recreational things. But nurses, no. So I saw this real estate. I don't know if it's AI. I actually have to check if it's AI, but it seems very real, a whole documentary. But anyway, I had to check. But the problem was the same. I think it's the same. We're still in the same circle. We are always the profession that are not taken seriously, because we are the caring profession. So we are here for the others. So why others should be here for us? And yes, I agree with you. And you say something else.
She says the transition from the nursing school to the clinical side of nursing is lost in the translation of what we most do. Right. I think from what I've seen from my experience of what I'm seeing with the new nurses coming out, they're shell shocked. They're like, I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't prepared for this. We never talked about this. And how do I handle this? I don't know what to do. Or this happened to me today and I didn't know how to handle it. I don't know where to put it. I don't know who to talk to. And feel that that's really sad as well, because what are we really preparing them for? Well, not reality. You can't learn reality in a textbook. You can learn terms, exactly. You can learn, you can learn diagnoses, you can learn all of that. But if we're not really preparing them and showing them what this profession really is, that's why they're leaving. They're shell shocked. They're traumatized. They're burnout before they get even, I don't want to say initiated, but even in it long enough to understand the impact that they have, why they did this in the first place, why they chose to be a nurse in the first place. They're so like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. What do I do with this? How do I handle this? I feel that needs to be a class all its own. Like, I don't even know what the hell you would call it, Dina, but not ethics, not nursing ethics. There's something like that already, but the real life, let's see, what day in the life of a nurse. How about that? The day in a life.
Yeah, because when they do placement, it's quite different. It's not really real yet. But if we share through social media, with the respect of patient, of course, as you rightfully say early on, if you want to share on social media, do anything on social media, you must respect, the policy of your organization, right? But it's important to share it. As Cass say, if you want to read the
nurses are brands. Therefore, I think visibility in nursing is not vanity; it is a responsibility.
Absolutely right, on point, Cass. I think this is the conversation is all about this. To be honest, we want to to take bring focus on visibility, because it's how we communicate our frustration, our problems, our challenging, but also how we share to the new generation how nurses is, and together we can make some change. And
Right,
Cass says
absolutely.
something
Yes,
else.
this question always steers me up. It steers me up. I love that. Who
Mm.
taught us as nurses to hide or to be small? I say that. Oh my God!
Yep,
I just wrote 2 posts and back to back in regards to that first experience, how you were, how someone precepted you, how someone made you feel, how someone either said, "Here, little birdie, fly. Here, this is what you need. Here's the tools. I support you." Here, to someone who says, "Oh my God, you should have known that. Why didn't you know that?" I mean, you shut somebody down that quick when you do something like that. You don't give that person the confidence that they need. You don't give them the backing, the support, the encouragement, the empowerment that they need. And it's so sad. And I wish people would stop doing that. I really wish people would realize how much impact you have on the trajectory of anyone. New nurse, old nurse, nurse who's been in it for, a little over a year or so. They're still just finding their ways. They're finding their footing. And believe it or not, y'all, we're all getting old. Okay. We're not going backwards. We are going forward, and we're all getting old. So eventually, at some point in time, our asses are going to be in a bed. Okay. We are going to be on
exactly.
the other side of that
So
rail.
true.
We are
Yeah.
going to be on the other side of that rail. So think about that. Think about it. Okay, let's show an example right now, Dina. So think about it as you're precepting someone and you just weren't really kind. Okay, you didn't make that person feel welcomed. You were short with them. You were dismissive. And guess what? Let's fast forward a couple of years. Something happens to you, right? Something happens to you,
Exactly.
and now you're the patient in the bed. That person walks into your room. They're your nurse today.
She has the power. She's your
She is
nurse
your nurse
today.
today. Yep. She is your nurse today. And now, are you thinking, oh shit, I remember her. I wasn't very nice to her. I regret it now. I shouldn't have been that way. I shouldn't have treated her that way. She didn't deserve that. And then you're thinking, am I going to get good care? Is she going to treat me with kindness? Am I going to feel supported? Or do I need to ask for another nurse? So everything that you do and say on a daily basis to your patients, to your coworkers, to your colleagues, patients' families, it has a ripple effect. It will come back. What's the saying? Karma's a bitch. It will come back. It will come back. I am here to tell you. I am 100%. I've seen it. It will come back. It will come back. So just always, always be kind. There's 3 things you can do in life. 1, be kind. 2, be kind. 3, be kind.
And because kind come back. If you are kind with
Yes.
others, others will be kind with you. And this is so beautiful. And I have actually a good point from Cass, but I want to read an comment before, because
Yeah.
she posted before her, and she commented before Cass anyway, but she
What did she
needs
say?
to go.
When are you ladies planning conference? I have to go. Take care. Oh, I don't know. We'll plan on it. Love you.
We're
Thank you.
actually planning with someone else. We're already doing some conference, but yes, it's coming. It's coming. But
It is.
we don't exploit anything now, right? Okay.
No.
Keep in touch.
Thank you,
Keep in touch.
Anne. Thank
There we
you,
go.
thank you, thank you for
Thank
being
you, Anne, for
here.
coming.
Always.
Yes.
Have a good day. Happy Mother's Day. Enjoy yourself. And now Cass says, can visibility bridge the gap of mentorship that is lacking in nursing now? I think so. I think so.
I'm sure.
Cass, I would love for you to go a little deeper. Think about that just a little bit deeper for a moment. When you say visibility bridge the gap of mentorship, how do you envision that? Where do you see that? Think about that for a second and then comment back. I would love to know your perspective on that, your vision of that. And Dina, I'll ask you the same question. Where do you see visibility bridges the gap of mentorship?
Of course, I have my answer ready to go, but should we
Of course you do.
Should we wait Cass to reply it and see what she's thinking about before I say anything? Because actually, I'm going live after this with a workshop that actually talk about that. But
Okay. Well, I'll have to be there.
Absolutely. But let's see, Cass, work on this and come back to us. Or why don't you jump on the conversation, actually? And the link is there. The link is in the comment, and you can just click and jump in the conversation.
Separate it, Dina. Right now you have a link and the HTTPS is too close together.
Okay.
So if you separate that, I can't ever jump on the chat, but here, I'll put it in the private one. I'll send it to you. Now click on the link that I sent you in the private chat and put that out there. I think it was because there wasn't a space. It wasn't showing the link.
Probably. Yes.
And then Flavia. Hi, Flavia. Oh, I love her. So nice to see you. She says, and being kind doesn't cost anything. Absolutely. Kindness is free. It is free. It has always been free. And so many people do not realize that. And so many people take that for granted. I know we don't always have good days, you guys. I know that. Not every day is a good day. We're all struggling with things that we don't talk about, that no one else knows about. But if we can somehow put it aside, and just see the people in front of us for that moment, even if it's just a moment, see the people in front of us and go about our day to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. Because like I said, it does come back. It all comes back. And the kindness that you put out into the world, it comes back to you. It really, really does. So I'll stop being mushy. I'm sorry.
In the most beautiful way. That's okay. So I don't know if Cass, she is ready for answer the question.
Yeah. So you guys, Dina shared a link. Okay. It's in the comments. So if you want to join the conversation live with us and come on the podcast with us, click on that link and Dina will invite you in and you can join the conversation with us, and love to hear from you and be able to have a conversation with you in the room. So The link is in the comments.
So we give you the mic.
Yeah. And the mic is open. It's open mic time. It's like karaoke. Exactly. Step up to the mic.
This is a new thing. We are trying this. I think if we want to give you voice, we have to open the microphone, right? So there's no point. There's no point.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. And so I'll touch on that gap while she's thinking. So I'm thinking with visibility, bridging that gap, especially for those that are starting their own businesses, like ourselves. Starting our businesses and getting our voice out there, getting our face out there, getting our voice out there. That's how visibility is bridging that gap for me, for mentoring, for coaching, for bringing all of my years of experience, all of my knowledge, and just sharing. I'm just sharing. If I can save one nurse, I can save 1,000,000. And if I can give one nurse the tools to go out to do a job better, to go out to be a better person, to go out with the courage and the bravery to start something of our own, then I'm then successful. For me, that's success. That's how I feel bridging the gap with mentorship and visibility. That's what I think. Okay. What do you think, Dina? She's still thinking, I think. What do you think?
No, I'm not. I tried to share actually whatever, because I am about in 1 hour and a half, and I am going now with this. Let's see if I can share.
Well, Cutie just popped in. Do you see Cutie's note? And I hope I'm saying that right, because I'm thinking Cutie when I see Kuti. I'm thinking Cutie, maybe Kuti. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a beautiful name, whatever it is.
Oh, there we go. Yes. Let me show this first, and Cutie will give you the mic to you very quickly. So, Can visibility bridge the gap of mentorship that is lacking in nursing? Yes. And my next live will be about how to become a successful career coach. Why? I will be very quick. It's beside AI and climate change policies and generational age and generational shift are completing, destroying, and build up healthcare system again, right? So we are already seeing so many new nurses roles that's being created, and so visibility can really help nurses to understand their role better, create new roles actually, right, and serve the population actually outside the hospital. Prevention is a very good things, big things that will already start happening. So with visibility, you can reach your clients and do prevention. For example, there are so many wellness coach. Nurses are wellness coaches for as per nature, right? But also because all these changes happening in the healthcare, we really will need so many career coaches because nurses will be confused. We are really overwhelmed, overworked, emotionally numbed. And now, because all this change between AI, innovation, technology, climate change, sustainability, and policy, generational shift needs, the baby boomer now are become the elderly. So we will have a elderly nursing care need that is phenomenal. So nurses, they don't know where to go. There are so many opportunities in front of them. They are so paralyzed. So we'll see an increase of career coaches because we will need it. If it's now is a luxury that only few strategic nurses think to go for, well, it will be a necessity in a couple of years. I mean, tomorrow, to be honest. So thank you for the question because I could advertise my next event. I just grabbed the opportunity as it came. Thank you very much. But yes,
this is your show. You know, you can do what you want. It is your show.
Well,
bring it.
Alpha 6 PST, British Standard Time. So thank you, Cass, for your question.
But touching on what you said, Dina, it's reinventing. We're like reinventing the wheel. Absolutely. But and you know, and just making it better. And there's just so much out there that we can do. I just see so much that can be done, that can be better, that can be more, that can just I don't know, just create safer environments, create better environments, create environments that people actually thrive in instead of survive in. That's what I want to see. That's all I want to see.
We live in a challenging moment, right? Someone rightfully say at the beginning of the conversation. So where there are challenging moments, there are so many challenges and problems. And so the easy way is fix the problem. So we are really have so many opportunities. It seems strange to hear, right? We have many problems and we have many problems to fix. But because we have many problems to fix, we have many opportunity, right? Actually, entrepreneurs, they think in this way. I'm an entrepreneur. I think in this way. When I see a problem, for me, it's not something to be afraid of or anxious about. A problem for me is an opportunity to create something meaningful. So there is a problem. How can I fix the problem? I don't say, oh my God, I've got this problem. My life would be changed forever now. I don't know how to do. Right, there is a problem. Let's fix the problem. Let's get creative. And actually, again, visibility is very good because if you find a solution for a problem that many have, and you know how to get visible in front of people that have this problem, you tell them, hello, I know you got this problem and I have the solution. Can I help you? That's it. This is visibility.
Yeah. It's again, getting curious, being curious and creative. And just look at the collective of people that we work with or that we're standing right beside every single day. All of your solutions are right in front of you. Their solutions, I used to have a doctor when I was in labor and delivery. And every time we do a C-section, I hand him the water to irrigate the abdomen, and he would always say, the solution to pollution is dilution.
Okay.
That has always stuck with me, and I think it's that way in so many things. And that was Dr. Arthur Vendola, just so you know, Skip. I just called that out, but it's just always stuck with me, and I think that can be honestly utilized in so many ways. But anyway, yes, let's see what Cutie said. I hope to God I said her name right, his name right. Okay, I like what you said about taking care of our people. Stephen R. Covey called this the production capability balance. The core idea: P equals production, the results, the output, the golden eggs. PC equals production capability, the ability to continue producing results. The system: people, health, relationships, culture, equipment, the goose. Covey uses the metaphor from Aesop's fable. A farmer kills the goose that lays golden eggs because he wants faster results. And then, do you have the rest of it, Dina?
I am mute. Yes, I'm going to find. Let me see if I can find. That was in another page.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I've got the rest.
That lays the golden eggs because he wants faster results.
So
interesting. No,
sorry, I'm loading so many messages.
No, that's okay.
I love when we have so many so great. This is a great engagement. I can't find it. It was on LinkedIn.
Yeah. It's let's see.
Can't find him.
See if I can find the rest of it.
Let me maybe.
Okay, let's see. Okay, it doesn't look like it goes on any further. Okay, and loses both the goose and the eggs. So a farmer that kills the goose that lays golden eggs because he wants faster results and loses both the goose and the eggs.
Of course. Yeah.
That's a really good metaphor.
This is so good. And this is so true.
That just inspired me for another post. I like that. P equals production. The results, the output, that's the golden eggs. PC equals production capability, the ability to continue producing results. So the system, the people, health, relationships, culture, equipment, that's the goose. So Covey uses the metaphor from Aesop's fable. A farmer kills the goose that lays golden eggs because he wants faster results. In doing so, loses both the goose and the eggs. Wow. That is really deep. That is really, really deep. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was really deep.
And
God, my wheels are turning now. My wheels are turning. Okay. And then she says, nursing is complete. We can use our nursing process to solve identified problems. Of course we can. We can use
problem solver.
We can use that for a lot of things, but we can also use that same knowledge and nursing processes to solve the problems that we identify. There's always a solution. It's just people being brave enough to come together to find the solutions together. And that's, I think, so much too, do you know what stopped happening? We stopped working together. We stopped working together as teams. We stopped working together as collaborators.
Oh, yes. We actually start to compete each other. And you can see this in the social space, actually, social media space. And actually wanted to say this, but the conversation went through another way. Anyway, we got there. So the nurses start to use social media to share their voices they start to compete each other. So I always say, I'm against competition, I'm for collaboration. Those who may see my competitor, for me, they are not competitor. They may see me as their competitor. It's not for me. I'm actually happy to collaborate, because when you collaborate, when you put together different resources, you actually you not just only improve the system, okay, they make the mechanism, the production, right? But you also share your audience, because people, when they are inspired from you, they're also inspired for other people. So it's an enrichment at the end. And so it's important to use social media in the right way, but also what is I witnesses, because I was one of the first nurses using social media, is that nurses start to use social media in the wrong way, because they have something meaningful to share, right? We are a problem solver, okay, Olu? We use nursing to solve problems, right? But we start to listen to social media influencer that, in the majority of the case, teach the nurses to use social media to be social media influencers. And this is wrong, because nurses should use social media and so use visibility in the way that they are able to communicate their innovation, their idea. So if you, for instance, if you use LinkedIn with the same technique that LinkedIn influencers use, you're not gonna find right results, because your goal is to share your idea, but you end up just create followers, but not clients. So I think that collaboration is so important between nurses, among nurses who use social media, as we do with the collective, right? We said before, we are a group of nurses who share the same idea, who are like-minded, who are collaborating in the social media space, especially here in LinkedIn. And we support each other, we push each other, we invite each other, we do conference together, right? So that is not competition. That is collaboration that bring results, bring visibility, and bring positive change in nursing, right? When you listen to a social media influencer they're telling to you, you have to use social media in this way if you want to become an influencer. Now that is wrong. Unless you want to just be an influencer, free to do it. But why you have an amazing profession that can bring you so much visibility and career and success and money, why you should be an influencer? You can actually use social media visibility to promote your product for the better. So yes, we also can see the link. Cutie, I sent to you. Even though we are maybe about to leave. Kimberly, right?
I'm good, honey. If you're good, let's just keep going. If he can get the link, I just shared it in the comments again. So
can you send directly to QT, because I don't know why it doesn't show up.
Let me find him here in the conversation again.
You want to come to I've got some message as well. Let me check the messages.
Okay. I just sent it to him directly in the comments. So hopefully, no, I think that's why we continue having these conversations, is not just visibility, but again, it creates visibility for opening up so many doors, thinking outside the box, imagining, being curious, being interested in what others have to say, and truly listening. I think that's one of the biggest things that we're doing, is we're listening. When you guys share your comments and and people check in with us and whatnot, we're listening. We're listening, and we're truly interested in what you have to say,
true.
and we're enlightened by what you have to say. And we hope that we're empowering each and every one of you to continue having these conversations and to not be afraid. Don't be afraid. You know, fear runs so much in healthcare. Fear runs so much in this profession. You know, we're afraid of losing our jobs, afraid of losing, you know, something because of being labeled for something, or, you know, we've we've had the conversation so many times. But I just, again, just be yourself. Don't be afraid to speak up about things. Don't be afraid to do something new. Don't be afraid to do things that, again, light your fire. If it lights your fire and it excites you, and just run with it. Oh my God, I can't say that enough. Run with it. Run with it, because that is somebody going ding ding ding. Hey, hey, I have an idea. Listen to me. That is your conscience saying, you got something. You are onto something. Run with it, and reach out to people, and think about the people that you're connecting with, and that you can collaborate, and all the ideas that brainstorming. You know, when we sit here and we talk out loud and we have these conversations, we're brainstorming. We may not realize it, but we're all brainstorming. You know, we're thinking something that we've said, something that someone in the comments has said, sparks curiosity. And that's what we're hoping to create, especially with the last two podcasts, is creating that curiosity, your curiosity as to what's possible. What can I do today? What can I do today to make this better, to make this environment better, to create a change in this culture, to make a difference, to be the difference that we want to see? Because honestly, we all have the power to be the change that we want to see. So anyway.
Absolutely. But I think we should also, I was thinking about, and I'll take myself as example. When I start to be more active on social media, I didn't say much in my workplace, but some people saw me, and some people start to, you know, say stupid things about or being mean. And this hurt. I mean, is very annoying, it's frustrating, and you think I'm doing something important, meaningful, and they're just, you know, they're bullying me the same. And I think you must be strong in that moment, because that moment should pass eventually. And the co-worker, they will stay where they are, but you actually grow a lot. And you brought on the table something meaningful, you changed the nursing. So they start, those people that once were bullying you, or, you know, talk badly about you on your back, now they actually start admiring you, because the same people they did to me, now they come to me with I can feel the tone of admiration, because they, and I'm not saying you know, in an arrogant way. I say that they come to me for asking help, and I give my help, but I can feel the shift in the emotion, the shift in the tone. That while they were laughing on me at the beginning, now they actually come to me for some advice or other things. But anyway,
yeah, jealousy is a horrible thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But if you are strong enough to hold on until you really create something meaningful, this moment should pass. So don't worry about it. And yes, Kimberly, you say right. Jealousy is terrible things.
Jealousy
Also
is a
because
horrible thing.
yeah, so maybe you have the courage to do something that they don't have courage to do it. So while you are building something meaningful, you are vulnerable actually, because
Right,
other
but you're
people can
growing.
tell you, yeah, you're growing, yes, but you are vulnerable in a way that people can tell you, what you doing? What do you think you
Oh yeah,
are?
they want to
This is
quickly
so
be like, oh,
stupid. Yeah, this
it's so
is so
stupid.
stupid. You
That's
won't
never
do
going to work.
anything.
It's never going to work.
Yeah.
Well, tell Tesla that, and tell some of the other great inventors of amazing things that tell them that.
So you have to be strong in that moment.
Yeah.
But I assure you that if you put the work in place and you keep going because you really believe in what you're doing, they shall pass. And they will come to do differently after the moment. They will come to do, say, can you help me doing this? So I think we got some more comments.
And do we gloat? And then do we gloat just a little bit? There's that little inner critic that when that happens, you're like,
that's true.
I told you so.
Exactly.
I told you so. Because, when I feel that bullies, when they're bullies and they mock you or they try and shame you
Mock you, yes, I
doing
didn't find
something
the
on
word.
your own.
Yeah.
For something on your own, they see something in you that they don't see in themselves, and they're threatened by it. You are a threat. But just take that as a time to grow, and also a time to God, how do I want to say this? A time to take that experience and show them how they can grow as well. Show them that by doing this, or by maybe even working with me on this, or seeing my vision. I think sometimes we're so passionate about something, and we have such a vision that maybe not everybody has that vision yet, or they still have blinders on. If you can somehow show them the full picture, the full vision, and what you see and where this could go, that changes their whole mindset. Because I think sometimes too, again, it's fear, and it's jealousy, and it's just being women. Sometimes I think women are so bad about just competing, and everything is a competition and threatening, or yeah. I could go in, I won't go into that, but anyway, I think that those opportunities right there, that person that does that is the opportunity for you to show greatness. That is the opportunity for you to be the leader, that maybe they didn't have, and to show them what it looks like to be successful, and to kind of drown out all the noise and just believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself, because we are so bad at critiquing ourselves, right? We're so bad at how we see ourselves sometimes. But again, when you're so passionate about something and you have a vision for something, don't let somebody squash it. Don't ever let anyone make you small. Never, never. Run with it. And then, like I said, when something amazing happens and all of your dreams come true, you can look back on that moment. That was a learning moment. You can look back on that moment and see, they thought I would fail. They didn't have faith in me. They didn't see what I saw. And look at me now. And I don't want to say it as a gloating, but it just as that time where you sat with so much self-doubt, that when that success finally comes, and it happens, and it will come, then you can say, I knew I could do it. So, yeah.
Also, because I would say that it's important to have people that support you is fundamental, right? But the problem is, if you're not you, the first person, and believe in yourself that you can do it, it doesn't matter if people believe in you. You won't do it. So you really have to stay attached to your self-belief, even if you doubt yourself. Because let's be clear, entrepreneurs succeed because they always feel never enough, not enough. And they want to grow and grow and do more and do more. So, and this is unfortunately why certain entrepreneurs cannot see they enough. They keep going, even too much, and they sacrifice their family, their love, etc. Because not feeling enough is a good drive to create success in your life, right? But you have to recognize the the change that you made, the positive change that you made, the success you have. Not because you have to be arrogant, but because you have to recognize that that you accomplished something meaningful, right? But yes, if you don't hold on to that belief that what you are creating is meaningful, that you do for others, and then yes, you do for yourself, but you believe that you can do it, that you have the capacity, you can do it, you won't create anything at all in general, not necessarily on social media or on entrepreneurship, in anything. If you don't believe that you will be able to get that degree of nursing, you won't finish the nursing diploma, a certificate, whatever. So you start your nursing study because you believe you can become a good nurse. So you go through that process, and nursing study are tough. I mean, nurses are so bad with student nursing as well. So to endure those 3-4 years, right, you have to at least believe tiny little bit on yourself and say, I've got capacity to do it. So as you do this, you can accomplish 100,000 things. So Ollie says, celebrating each other's strengths in the professional. And also she said, you're encouraging me. The purpose of this podcast is actually encourage at least one nurse.
Encouraging. Yes. Thank you so much for that. I see Rosa had left a comment as well. Do you see Rosa's comment?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
So coworkers always think that the shift should come from management. And when you want to do something, they bully you because they don't really believe how powerful as nurses we are. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And again, that's where that feeling threatened comes in, because they see something in you that scares them because they don't see it within themselves, and it's threatening. And you might outshine them. God forbid, you might outshine somebody. And instead of taking that as a threat, people should welcome that. And again, tell me what you're thinking. It sounds like an amazing idea. Let's talk about it. How can we run with this? That's so encouraging. I haven't heard that. I didn't think about it that way. Well, let's talk about it. And if we did more of that, if we did more of supporting one another, and those ventures, those ideas, those things that could make everything so much better, I just don't understand, why there's that wall, why we put up so many walls, and why we feel like we have to compete all the time, and all the alphabet soup, you know what I mean? Because you have 500 alphabet letters behind your name that makes you better. It doesn't. It doesn't. High five for all your credentials. I high five you, and I'm proud of all of you that have those. But again, it doesn't make you a better anything. It really doesn't. Because if you're a rude and obnoxious bully, or not a nice person, or someone who everyone cringes about when you come in a room, what does that say? What does that say? All those letters behind your name don't mean anything. And just people don't respect you. People don't want to be in your presence. And you should feel that. You should feel that. And I think sometimes people are so oblivious to that, and that realization of like, oh God, maybe it's me. Could I be the problem? How many people will admit that, right? So anyway, Cody says, BET, so bet on yourself. So true. Yes. Always bet on yourself. Always trust in yourself. Believe in yourself. There's probably a song out there. I'm sure there is. Hell, Ashley Scott's probably created one.
For sure. Yes. If she didn't, we have to ask her.
I'm sure Ashley has made one. And Alia Messi says, yes, I can do it. Yes, you can.
Yes.
Oh, yes,
girl.
you can.
Of course, girl.
I'm sure there's another song for that one too. If you dream it, you can do it. I don't know who said that, but that quote is always stuck in my head. If you can dream it, you can do it. Or like from that movie, what was it? Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. Remember that?
No, I didn't see it.
Kevin Costner? What? Kevin Costner in the Field of Dreams. Remember?
I'm not sure. I think I was
in the middle of a cornfield, in the middle of a little farm town. Baseball.
I have to. Sorry.
Anyway, it was so good. You have to
I
watch
will
it
do it.
now.
I
You
will
have
do
to
it.
find it now.
Promise.
You have to find it now. Yes, if you build it, they will come. Yes, so I truly believe that if you dream it, you can do it. You just can. And is it a tough sometimes? Is it a struggle? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's what we were talking about. Visibility and finding the right audience and,
Exactly.
and your business adventures and getting out there and trying to get clients and trying to do whatever it is that you're doing. It's getting in front of the right people. You just have to, it's like trying to find a job. You just have to get in front of that one person. Just that one person has to see something in you that others haven't seen and to give you that opportunity.
And if I can say something, one of the things I learned in the entrepreneurship program here is that it's not necessarily the what that make you successful. It's the who. So yes, you may have an amazing idea, you may fix an amazing problem, but if you don't find the right person who does need your strategy, who does need to fix that specific problem, or that person that won't invest in you because see that you can fix this problem that many people has, your idea, as good as could be, it won't go anywhere. You need the who. So who is your perfect client, your ideal client? Who is your ideal mentors? Who is your ideal coach? Who is your ideal supporter, right? So who is your ideal employer? What I coach to my client, those who want to do career, right? Nurses who want to do career. What I say here is to be successful, you must join a successful organization. But the organization should be the right for you, right? What are your ambition? What you want to do in nursing? You have to find the organization that share the same value. They want to do the same thing you want to do. Otherwise, you can bring all your master's degree, or your certification, or your knowledge, and you go to an organization saying, well, we're not interested in develop this innovation. So no, we won't do it. So it's always the who.
Yeah,
So
and there's a quote. That quote, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly. Yeah, so for sure.
And it is that way. It is that way a lot of times and a lot of things, and especially in this world now, in this economy right now. So Rosa also says, you are completely right, Kimberly. Oh, thank you. But if you don't want to be assaulted every single day, sometimes it's better to go somewhere else. Of course, I never tell anyone, I don't recommend anybody stay in an environment that's not safe.
Me
Jesus,
too.
God, no. There's way too many places to go. There's way too many opportunities out there. So if you are in an environment that's happening and you don't feel safe, start working on your resume, start applying, start talking to people, start networking, start reaching out. This platform is big for that. Start reaching out. Start reaching out. They're out there. You just have to find them. But there's nothing that says you are stuck where you are. Nothing
Exactly.
that says you are. No.
And actually, the best way to this best time to become visible, because again, visibility is not necessarily 100 likes or 100 comment on your post. It's reaching through DM and through conversation with the right people that can help you. So visibility is something that happen in rapport, in communication behind the scene, right? We didn't jump in a podcast, myself and Kimberly. We had some conversation before when no one knows about it, right? So yes, I have to stay in the same environments if you don't feel safe. But yes, you still be able to build something, to be visible. You not necessarily need to be in front of the social media of your coworker. You build in silence, but
Yes.
visible to those who really need to see what you're doing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they say, what did they say? I actually saw a video the other day. I'm trying to think who it was now. God, I can't think of his name right now. It wasn't, maybe it was Tommy Lee Jones, maybe. Big actor. Anyway, but he says when you're building something, be quiet, be silent about it. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody for the 30, 60, 90 days. Don't talk to your spouse. Don't talk to your family. Don't talk to your friends. Just keep it to yourself and watch it grow. Watch it build. Watch it become something. Then that's when you share it, because then you've bypassed all of those naysayers that won't. You can't do that. That will never work. You bypass all of that. So that's when you come out shining, and that's when you come out with, I knew I could do it. I knew I could do it. I didn't need anybody to tell me I couldn't, or how I would fail, or that will never work. I didn't need anybody to tell me that. I had that already in my head. I already had that. Oh, maybe this won't work. You have those doubts, and then you have that argument with yourself. I know I can do this. I'm going to reach out to so-and-so. Let me see who maybe in my network I could reach out to that might know something about this. I mean, isn't that why we're all here? We're all here networking. We're all here making connections and building something. We're all here building something. If it's not a job, if it's not a role, it's a family. It's a village. I feel that I found my tribe here, and building what we're doing. It's that space. We've all found a space. We've found a space that's safe, that we can talk, we can collaborate, we can have, ideas. I can agree not to agree with you or disagree with you. We have those conversations, and that's okay. I would much rather someone disagree with me and go tit for tat and make me see. And that's the thing again. If someone else is doing that, they're making you look at it differently. Maybe you didn't look at it that way, and now you do, and now you're curious, right? That caused curiosity. You're like, oh, okay, tell me more. I didn't think of it that way. I didn't look at it that way. Tell me more. So, yes, I think, I don't know. I just think that there's so much out there that we don't even know of yet. There's so much coming that we have no idea of yet. But it's these conversations, this time with you on Sundays, that my head, when I leave you, oh my God, my head is spinning. And usually what do? I put out 2-3 posts of something same day or the next day, because I have all these ideas. I have all of this wisdom. I have all of this inspiration when I leave these conversations with you, from the time with you and the people in the comments and going back through. I'm so inspired.
Me too. Yeah. Thank you. And we also have Kitty. Kitty in the room now. Welcome, Kitty.
Oh, nice. Hello.
Hello. Please unmute yourself and jump in the conversation. Just click on the microphone icon and make yourself unmute. Let's see if I can do it.
It happens to us all the time. We'll be talking and we're on mute. Yeah, it happens. You see at the very bottom, the microphone and the camera? Just click on the microphone. No,
I think it's got problem in connection because no, it's not freezing. If you look below and you see your picture in front of you, click on the microphone icon. Let me see if I can help you.
So
share
if there's a red line through the microphone, it's muted. If it's not, maybe it's a connection thing. Check maybe your headphones or how you're using the camera and the microphone.
No, I cannot help you, sorry. Window, let me see here. Okay. Oh my God, this is the... Anyway, can you see here? Where is he? Can you see here? This is you.
This is very bottom.
Well done.
There he is.
All right.
Now I can hear him.
Welcome to the show, okay. Kitty.
How do you say your name? Did I say it right?
You have been absolutely amazing. You have called it Kitty. That's right.
Okay. Phew.
Welcome to the show.
No, thank you very much. It's a great opportunity just to, to be in this space. I know that, you guys have been doing these sessions on Sundays, which is really amazing. And I've been listening in the background. Really some thought-provoking stuff as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. What do you think about visibility for nurses, especially on LinkedIn, because we are all come from there, but wherever, any social media platform. What do you think about it?
I think it's that's a very interesting question, but I also think that there is that level of personal responsibility in terms of how do we make sure that at least you can become visible as individuals, maybe as a collective. And I think it's the unfortunate part of it as nurses, probably we're not advocating for our voices. And if we don't advocate for our voices, probably nobody will. So for me, it takes people like yourselves to go out there and start doing this. This is actually how we can actually mobilize, within our community in terms of making sure that at least there is that voice, visibility, and vibrancy of our voices. Quite often, I'm a big believer that you can't delegate that sort of aspect to anyone else. We need to take ownership of how we can actually become visible. And I appreciate that the system sometimes doesn't help, but until we do something as nurses, as a collective, actually, I don't think nothing will happen. It's going to take a few people that will really be intentional about making themselves visible, whatever those social media handles are. It's really just us taking ownership, but also making sure that the communication is appropriate. Because the problem is that sometimes we just need to be very mindful of having some guardrails around what do we say on social media platforms, because once something is out there, you don't have control over it, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, so true. Kimberly, what you want to say? Yeah, I agree with you, Katie.
Sorry, I had to find the microwaves or the microwave, the microphone, so I could unmute it. I think that's so true. And invisibility and finding your voice in this profession. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's not about being obnoxious. It's not about being insubordinate or unapproachable. It's not that. And I think that's where that threatening comes in again. People find you threatening, but it's because they are too afraid to speak up. They've seen what happens when someone else has spoke up, and we saw what happened to them. They're not here anymore. And we see how people speak up and they get labeled. They get treated differently. They get the assignments that are less than nice. And there's all of that hierarchy that comes in. And I don't mean titles. I just mean where, say, I've been here longer than you, or you haven't been in this profession long enough to even think that way, or how dare you talk about it like that, or you're talking about somebody that's been here at this organization for 20 years, but his behavior is completely unacceptable, intolerable, but it's allowed. It's been treated as okay, and that's a problem. But in the opportunities that we have in being visible, it's not because we just are talking just because we're talking. Obviously, we're seeing things that need to change, things that need to be addressed, and people are so afraid. And Dina and I have talked about this for so many episodes, and silence, and the fear of silence, and being silenced, and being silent because you are fearful. Silence has so many definitions in our profession, and I too think that having these conversations and having this opportunity today for people to pop in and be live with us is another opportunity to hear the voices, that may be feeling like they've been silenced, like they have nowhere to go. They've been talking, or they have something to say, but who's going to listen? Oh, I really want to bring this up, but who's going to listen? You know, what room is safe to be in? Is there a safe space? Is there a safe room? And you know, we were talking just a little bit ago, and how LinkedIn, so many people are afraid to comment, or they're afraid to share a post because, well, wait, how's that going to look to my employer? Ooh, so and so might not. They might not see it the same way I do, or I might lose my job because of something I've posted. Happened to me. I can speak to that. I can speak to that from experience. Happened to me over a post, and there was never a conversation. It was just merely an email. We're going to have to end our contract with you because we don't feel that your post aligned with our mission. There was no conversation. There was no phone call. There was no person-to-person conversation. It was simply done through an email. And, you know, I was really saddened and hurt by that for quite some time. It really bothered me because, for one thing, they said that I wasn't a nurse advocate. I wasn't advocating for nursing. Well, I'm here to flip and tell you, that's all I do. That's all I do is advocate for our patients, for our nurses, for our staff, for our teams, every single day in my posts and in my stories and in the comments. And so that really hurt me. And, you know, I could have taken that bruise and stepped away from this platform and stepped away from Dina and talking and feeling like, you know, maybe I shouldn't be talking. Maybe this isn't for me. But then I thought, at the same time, I thought, you know what? Hell no. That right there was a bully. That was someone who couldn't see what I saw. But I have almost 10,000 followers that say different. I have DMs that are filled all the time telling me, thank you. Thank you so much for saying that out loud. Or I'm going through this at work. I'm struggling. I'm mentally depleted. I watched the episode and I left there feeling inspired. I left there knowing that I can do this. I can get through this. And there are other opportunities. There are other ways to get around this. There is a chain of command. There is a ladder. And I have to stop being fearful of failing, fear of being labeled, fear of being fired. Because we all have beliefs. We have values that drive us, that guide us in everything that we do every day. And I know that I believe in this profession. I believe that what we're doing in this profession means something every single day. Every single day, every interaction that we have with every single person leaves a mark. It leaves a fingerprint. It's impactful. So I would say lead with intention, be intentional, but be careful, be cautious, be cautious. So I'm truly glad that you've joined the conversation with us, Cutie. And I'm sorry, I kind of went off on a little tangent there, but I just felt that, you know, I don't want to sit up here and thinking I'm all high and mighty. I'm not. But I've been through some things. I've been through that derailment, that dismissal, that it, as you can tell, it left an impact for me. But now I feel like my voice is just louder. My voice is more empowered. My voice is not cocky. My voice is confident. So thank you. Thank you.
And if I can jump on this point.
Oh my God, yes, please. Shut me up, Dina. Shut me up.
Kitty, I really agree with you that we must be careful what we say on social media. And I think we must be careful what you say in social media because we have to respect the care that we give to patients. So we must respect the humanity, the dignity of the patient. But we should also communicate our problem and our challenges. And when Kimberly experienced that problem, I got furious because I thought this organization that's supposed to support nurses is the same organization that's firing you. We're going to double down on what we're doing. And so when nurses find allies, they can really share new vision, share new way of, fix a problem, etc. But I wanted, we have so many people joining now and so many comment, as you can see, Kimberly. I showed them. I don't think we can show on this, read them again, but they all supporting nurses. There's so many cheers up with Happy International Nurse Day and Week. And if people want to, actually, if you want to join the movement, the conversation, just follow this podcast, and we'll give you opportunity to come in the podcast and talk about, as you do, QT. So you shared that we must be intentional, we must be careful what we share. Also, if we don't, advocate for ourselves, no one will do it. How do you, because I see you on LinkedIn, how do you use LinkedIn? I don't know if you use other social media to communicate your ideas and your things. How do you use LinkedIn in this way? Can you give an example how you're doing, so you can give example to other nurses, to the people that are watching us at the moment? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's a very good question. I mean, it just depends, really. Sometimes I see something which is quite inspiring, because when I did my training, probably about 20 years ago, one of the things that was really inculcated in me, and together with my other colleagues, is, as nurses, we're encouraged to have what we call professional curiosity. So I think one of the things that can kind of get lost in our profession sometimes is probably because of burnout, and people probably are just going through the motions, and sometimes it's very easy to lose that professional curiosity. I currently work in an organization where I oversee services. I was talking to a nurse who was just expressing that probably they don't feel heard by the doctors, but I was kind of holding the mirror back to them and actually saying, look, I know when I did my training, I know when I was newly qualified and being in a ward round, and the doctor do have respect if you've got a voice and what you're talking about as a nurse. And it's very easy to just say I'm not being heard. But if we're having those civil discourses, civil conversation, and we understand that we can influence certain decisions at whatever level we are, because I believe that leadership is about influence. It doesn't matter whether you've got a title or not. There is space for us to influence things, to influence outcomes. So I think there is also a tendency, this is just the human proclivity. There's a tendency to go into learned helplessness and to say, like, oh, there's nothing we can do. But actually, there is spaces where we can start to influence, as long as we are disagreeing with people respectfully. And I think there is space for that, and also there is space where, if you think that you cannot influence enough, I'm a big believer in taking, if I can't change people, then it's time for me to move on. And I don't take that personally. I just say, you know what? I'm a professional. At the end of the day, if I cannot change this system, it's important for me to do something about it. So I tend to want to take more personal accountability, but also challenge where you need to challenge. But that challenge has to be done respectfully. You can also challenge respectfully. So I think it's really striking a good balance in terms of how we can challenge this system, how we can influence the system. And I've got a privilege now, where I'm working. I've got a leader, and part of the agreement, the rules of engagement, is to say, let's disagree well. And disagreeing well is not taking things personally. So sometimes we have these debates, but those debates are very healthy. Yeah. Similarly, in any relationship, it's about establishing what are the rules of engagement. I've got a wife. We've got an agreement in terms of, yes, let's disagree, but let's disagree well. My wife is a nurse as well, so I'm probably oversharing here. So what I'm just saying is there is space to disagree well. And I'm a big advocate for civility. Let's be civil about it. When we are disagreeing with people, let's just be civil. And I know very well a couple of years ago, I had to leave an organization because I just thought our values were not aligning. But I did not throw tantrums about it. As a matter of fact, my line manager felt guilty because something had happened. They said, "Oh, is it me who caused this?" And I said, "No, it's not you. I take 100% responsibility for my decision making here because I just knew that we're not aligned in terms of our values." So I just think that it's it's an interesting thing. I'm not trying to sound a little bit Pollyannic here, but I'm just saying is sometimes the reason why we encounter some challenges is probably it's about sometimes the delivery of messages because it's always a conversational dance. How are we handling this? How are we handling bosses? And sometimes, yeah, it's just an interesting perspective. I think I can't say, you know, I've been perfect in my relationship, but I learned so much from my mistakes as well. But I look back and say, look, I could have handled that situation a little more better. And although they were wrong, because two wrongs will never make a right, but it's being driven by, some of those right values.
Oh, so inspiring, Kitty. Thank you very much. And I agree with you 1000%. And the delivery of the message, as you say, this is so right and important because sometimes challenges arrive because we have to grow. Because unfortunately, we love comfort, right? But we really grow in uncomfortable situations. So sometimes challenges are good delivery of change and of growth, because in the challenge that you actually find your path and you grow. And also, I respect your decision to leave the organization. That actually what I'd say to my clients. And actually what Kimberly just said early on, you not have to stay in the same place if you feel that you don't feel safe, or even if you don't feel that you and your organization still sharing the same value. Because at the end, the burnout really come to nursing, because nurses push themselves in a place that don't respect their work, that not share the same value, and so they push through. And actually, what I thought this during an event I've been invited to. I wanted really to explain the differences between resilience and endurance, because unfortunately, since COVID, organization and hospital has told to us the concept of resilience when we actually were endured the moment. So endurance is important in high time of stress, but endurance at some point have to stop. So we endure until we can reach, certain things, fix a problem, go over a pandemic, but then we have to pause and reflect on what we endure. And then there is resilience happen. But resilience is a moment of growth, actually. It's not a moment that you keep going. That is not resilience, that is endurance. So I wanted to share this concept, and I did this talk because nurses still think that you have to be resilient, you have to go through all the difficulty and be resilient. No, it's good, it's right to be to endure if it's need to endure, but endurance is not sustainable on the long run. Yeah, you have to pause and you have to recognize, okay, this organization doesn't give to me anymore what I was signing for. I enjoyed the time, and now I endure the time because it was needed. And through this endurance time, I grow a certain understanding. So now it's time to stop looking for another place that give me more, and then grow my resilience. So I agree with you, and I think, yes, you may combine your experience with your wife's experience, because you both nurses. I'm sure you are talking about so many challenging things. But you sound like a person who have more than 20 years experience. And I think that work on visibility, nurses have to really become more visible in platform like LinkedIn, for example, to share this concept, because a young nurse that don't know how to manage certain things can learn from you. And Kimberly, sorry, we have so many comments, but I would like to share this one.
Yeah, I saw that.
I've got the answer, but can you go first, Kitty, if you want to start about Kimberly as well?
Yeah. So when I first read that, I was sitting here thinking, I was like, you're leading. It's not about being prepared to lead. You are already leading in everything that you do. Every nursing class that you come into, every time you enter that hallway, every time you step on a unit, you're in a clinical, you're leading. You know, that goes back to that quote, you lead by example. And you are a huge example. You are showing other people how to perform, how to teach, how to protect, how to be curious, how to share your knowledge. You have the opportunity each and every day that you show up as a nursing student, as a nurse, to show everyone, the next generation, especially if you are a nursing student, how things can be done in the right way. And I always tell people, if you know what you know, but when you don't know something, you don't know it. So don't be afraid to be curious. Don't be afraid of being shamed because you don't know something. Because I'm here to tell you, 36 years in healthcare, I'm learning something new every day. I'm always asking questions. You know, I'm always asking questions. I'm not afraid to say, I didn't know that. Or I'm not afraid to say, hey, can you explain that? Because I'm not understanding it. Or it went poof, right over my head. Please try again. You know, so I think in nursing students being prepared, I mean, there's a lot of ways we can prepare them. But I think, like Dina and I always talk, it's about the self-awareness. It's about being aware of how you show up. It's being aware of what you put out into this universe and taking the time of looking in that mirror and self-reflecting. Sometimes, again, like I said earlier, sometimes like, wow, could it be me? Am I the problem? So we all have an opportunity to do better. So I feel that students always, nursing students of every kind, because you think of every type of student that comes through the door and every role and every department, there's a student. There's paramedic students, there's the x-ray tech students, there's all of these students. And you have to remember, they're watching every single thing that you do, and they're learning how to behave. They're learning how to perform a procedure. They're learning how to treat other people. And they're learning to decide at that time, wow, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. You know, you're teaching so many things, and they're watching and they're learning. So that's my take.
Cutie, we have just a few minutes and we really need to close, but I would like to hear from you about this. And we thank, we thank all the people who participate to this conversation. They really like that, very engaging. So Cutie, please tell what you think about how can nursing students prepare to lead? Thank you.
Well, this is an interesting question, actually. I think for me, it always depends with the appetite that you have as a student. I've had the experience of mentoring students myself. I can tell straight away, by just talking to a student a few weeks, and I use also just to coach them as well, and just make sure that at least when you start even your placement, I can tell this student whether they got the edge they got, because the idea is not focusing on titles. You can be a student as long as you're curious, you're willing to learn, and you can actually progress a lot more. But it's also about identifying a good mentor. You know, in your opportunities, you might have someone who is signing off your stuff, but I think identify a good mentor. A good mentor will walk you through, get you the experience, to make sure that at least you know the ropes of the jobs. And I think it also depends with your level of adaptability. In this day and age, I think students have got a great opportunity just to accelerate their career a lot more than when we did our training, because there is so much information out there. There is so much, a lot of things that you could actually be. There is AI collaboratives you can utilize. You can challenge people also through, you can challenge your mentors as well. So there's different ways of accelerating your learning. A couple of years ago, I had a privilege to work with colleagues where I had to promote someone who was newly qualified to the upset of quite a few people. A lot of people, they think that they have to be promoted because they've been there for a long time. We don't promote people because of experience. We promote people because of the expertise they bring to the table. I realized that although someone was newly qualified, they were brought more expertise, because sometimes you can be experienced in doing the same things and probably not elevating. So I'm saying that in my career, I remember the people that mentored me. I ended up managing them. This was a few years ago, but this was quite respectful. They respected the person I was. I respected them as well because they were my mentors. Because you can have students that will be your managers in a few years' time. So it just depends with the appetite that the student has. So for me, you have to identify who are good role models, and also you have to learn what we call reverse role modeling. These are the people that you say, look, actually, I don't want to be a leader like that. And, a lot of things are happening at the moment in terms of, leadership. At the moment, I believe that most people are promoted for their IQ, for their, emotional, sorry, for their, most people get promoted because of their technical expertise, but they actually get fired for a lack of emotional intelligence. So what I'm just saying is there is a lot of things that can accelerate your career. And I always believe that your gifting and the knowledge may take you up the ladder, but it is the character that will keep you up the ladder. So really important to think about, some of those things, not just about the expertise, but it's also about your character, your values, what you bring to the table. So yeah, there are people that have been in this career for donkey years, but I wouldn't hire them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. And we are about to close. I'm sorry, but we really are on the end. And this was a powerful conversation. Thank you, everyone who joined us today from LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And I just want to close this one. I'm a career coach, and I help even nursing students on their first years of university, and they can be leaders. Actually, they start to build. I think Cutie left, but thank you, Cutie, for participating. So they start building their nursing skills from the first year of nursing school. So as Kimberly say, you must be self-aware, and as Cutie say, you have to watch your leaders and see how they do. You need emotional intelligence and value. So you have leaders and you have followers. You really need to choose if you want to be a leader or if you want to be a follower. Follower, generally speaking, are those who, do what they've been asked to do. But also there are those who are empowered by what you say to them. So the followers are the people who are inspired by what you say. So you can really start to build your leadership skill since the first year of nursing university by having value. So watching your good mentor, and see what the value they got, and start to be like them, and take on responsibility. If there is a problem, help other fix the problem. You go with them, you create engagement, you create connection. A good leader is not someone who dictate what is need to be done. The good leader is a servant leader. Say, this is the vision that we got. This is where we want to go. Let's be the good relationship. And you build this relationship with emotional intelligence to go and reach that goal that we got together. A servant, listen to other people, what there are their challenges, what there are their problems, so that you can help them overcome their challenge and their problem. But yes, you can build leadership skills since leadership skill you can build since the kindergarten. So we really are talking about self-awareness, emotional intelligence, be able to understand other people, and be able to bridge the gap between people and work together. Who understand teamworking early is the person is able to lead later. We are really out of hour, and thank you very much, all of you. Kimberly, do you want to say something before we close? Cutie, thank you so much for participating in this conversation.
Thank you so much for being here. There was, when you're just talking about this, Dina, right now, it just reminded me of something. I was in a conversation on LinkedIn the other day, and it was about leadership and, and educating and meeting with leaders and whatnot, and trying to guide them and whatnot, as what I do in my coaching as well. I had this conversation, and we were talking about what it means when you are a leader. And I can't find it right now, but it's when you're leading, you are preparing others to lead. So it's like, what kind of I don't want to say, God, it's what you leave behind when you're gone. Say you've been there. It's like, how are they working now? How are they functioning now that you're no longer there? Did you leave a good impression? Did you leave something that was so impactful that you remembered for always in a good way? Or is it that you remembered in a bad way? But a good leader teaches others to lead. And then that leader mentors others to lead. Because as a leader, you're always wanting to grow. You're wanting others around you to grow. It's like when we talked before, Dina, and planting that seed. And it's how you water it. It's how you feed it. It's how you talk to it. It's how you encourage it to grow. And that's what leadership is. You are allowing others to grow and to see something in themselves that they didn't see before. That's why I say, surround yourself with the dreamers, the doers, the believers, the ones who see something in you that you didn't see yourself. Surround yourself with those people. So yes, thank you, Katie, so much for joining us today. And I lost my voice for some reason, but everyone that's joined us today in the comments and from YouTube, from Facebook, from LinkedIn, God love you. This was such a good time today. What better way to spend Mother's Day? So thank you guys so very much. And I know Dina's like, I gotta go, lady, I gotta go.
Yes, I have another live in a few minutes, and I need to get prepared. But thank you very much. We really enjoy. Please subscribe to the channel, follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook, and come back to the conversation, because we are here every Sunday at 4 p.m. British Standard Time, or GMT, and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you very much for coming. We love you. Speak soon next Sunday.
Thank you guys so much. And I hope if you did not catch the live that you will watch the recording, and please reach out to us. You can always reach out to Dina and I, or now Cody is in the comments. Please reach out to him as well. So inspiring conversation today. I loved every minute of it. And like I said, I always leave here so inspired, and I have to write a post or 3 to reflect on this moment. So again, I'm so grateful to have this day with you guys. So amen.
Thank you. Bye. Take care. Thank
Bye.
you, Kitty. Bye.